again, it focuses very much on the game. I remember when we went over this that it's very similar to the game. The same people who made the game are making the anime, and it definitely shows. Like the eye catch for the show basically shows the main character and what aspects he are improved in. Like first episode he improves in nothing. Second episode he's a little bit more courageous, and his knowledge and his intelligence is basic. And it evolves with each episode, which I like a lot.
So what is the basic idea?
Alright, so basic idea is, guys, he's basically now living with his uncle and his cousin in a new town, and crazy stuff is happening in the town. There's a channel called the Midnight Channel where if you watch the show at midnight, it will show you your the person you are destined to fall in love with. Mm-hmm. Apparently, however, it turns out that it's much bigger than that, and there's actually if certain people can actually go into television and go into this other secret world where there's all these nasty monsters and stuff. Mm. Yeah. And the main character, for some reason he finds out that he has a persona right off the bat. And personas are basically, they're like battle avatars, essentially. And if they get damaged, you get damaged. Mm-hmm. And special thing about this guy is that he can use multiple avatars, where normally a person can only use one. They ignore that. What else is there? Oh, most importantly, all the other side characters have their own demons to fight, their own things they've been ignoring for majority of their life, and that's how they get their avatars. They need to fight these inner demons to get their persona. They have to fight. Not only have to fight them, they have to make peace with them.
Yeah, it's like a doppelganger. A version of their inner selves appears in front of them and tries to convince them this is who you really are. And if they fight it, the inner demon becomes more powerful. Whereas once they accept it, the inner demon becomes their persona.
Interesting.
And the one thing that really stands out, and I think would make you really appreciate the show, Brent, is that to improve your powers and your abilities and basically how well you do in this world is to improve your relations with your friends.
Interesting.
Yeah. So like the better you become friends with people, the stronger you are on the inside. Therefore, the stronger your persona is.
Gotcha.
And it's just a very interesting show.
Yeah. So I actually remember this from the game. And the way I've heard from someone that it's half RPG, half dating sim. Because you have to make friends with them. You don't go on dates with them, but you do side quests with them. You have them in your party for a certain amount of time. That kind of stuff. Cool. And each character is very different. And as their own backstories get more and more oppressing, I guess could be the word. Tragic. Let's go with tragic.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, I like how all the openings and endings are all in English. It's pretty English.
Okay.
And they rap with this, and it's very stylish. Okay, I'm done.
That's cool. Have any of you guys seen Crossfight B Damon?
No.
I know about it. I didn't watch it, but I know about it. Crossfight B Damon has been going on for years now. Ever since 1990s. I think they had a Bomberman Cross B Damon crossover. Cross B Damon is basically a game where you have these little mech figures and basically put marbles into them, and you go on a table and you shoot the enemy Cross B Damon with these marbles. And basically, if you hit their cannon, this part of their body, the cannon closes up and you win. There was actually, they called it Beat 'em On in America. It was released. It was basically on the Beyblade hype sort of thing, and it's all right, I guess. Yeah, it's pretty simplistic though. This is just a continuation, nothing new. I haven't watched it, but that's what it is essentially.
Has the Lupin the Third new series come out yet?
I have not seen it.
I can't find it.
Yeah, but there's other anime that we haven't talked about yet as well. Did we talk about Makin Key?
Oh, that's weird. Why wasn't Makin Key on the list?
We haven't talked about Bento either.
Oh, that's right.
Go ahead with Bento.
Okay. Bento, that's actually more Zan's thing to start out with and me to continue with.
Yeah, I like Bento. Bento is my favorite anime of this season. Bento. So, basically, in Japanese supermarkets, you have, sometimes at the end of the day, stuff goes on half price sale, like little bento boxes go on half price because obviously they're going to spoil if no one buys them. So the plot here is that right as the person puts those half price stickers on and he closes the doors, a huge brawl starts to get these bento boxes.
Okay.
And basically, that is the whole goal. Is that every night to get your meal, you fight for these bento boxes. Mm-hmm. And it's very funny how they kind of have the lingo for this show. Like, so the people who fight for other people for these bento boxes are called wolves. If you're new to the game, you're called a dog. And there's other sorts of lingo. Like there's the boar, who's basically the lady who's like just buys all of them. Like he's like she's a fat lady. Mm-hmm. And there's also storms, which is like huge groups of sports teams that get together. And there's hunting dogs or hounds that are basically like groups that work together in order to get food. And there's like a whole other nickname. Like there's the wizard, who's like this great bento box fighter.
Yeah, that becomes a thing in the most recent episode. I can't remember the exact pronunciation, but I think it's like a nom de guerre, which is if you have a nickname, that means you're better than a wolf. You're really good. So if you have your own name, you're huge, and it's just. If you remember my review of High School of the Dead, when I said that there were certain action scenes that made my my heart sort of stop and my breathing get a little shallow, this show has that. The animation for the action scenes is just so fluid and so awesome that you sort of stop for a second and go, "Holy crap, that was cool."
Yeah, cool.
And I'm just really enjoying the show, especially the sort of undertones when it comes to personal relations and things like that. I mean, the fighting is the main focus, but there are definitely undertones that keep your interest at the same time.
Yeah, like the fourth episode, the main character had an option to join the hounds and get easy food, essentially, because basically all they would do is they would form a wall around the bento boxes and grab a bento box. Then another person would get in line and grab a bento box, and they would just defend and grab all the bento boxes and just leave. So it was it was guaranteed food, but it wasn't fun. And that's the whole point of being a wolf, is the thrill of the hunt. And that's what basically they're part of a club to get these, to get bento boxes. That's the whole part of the club. And more characters will be introduced later. And I kind of like how they have a balance for fan service as well. Basically, every eye catch, a bento box opens, and usually one of the girls is laying down somewhere very seductively. It works because it works with the themes as well. Also, opening song is really damn good, like very high paced energy. Don't know what else. It's my favorite anime. I love every bit about it. I love how the main character isn't like some wimp who is the last episode isn't like, I finally got a bento box. No, he's actually a pretty competent fighter for what's more. I also love his backstory. How one time apparently he was on a farm and a sheep internally combusted or something. Yeah, it was very different. Definitely his introduction was really weird. Like apparently he couldn't remember the day previously. Also, there was the first episode was all about stalking shots, which is very new to me. Like, you hardly ever see stalking shots in fan service. And this show isn't fan service. It's more action-based, with a little bit of friendship involved.
Oh, there's certainly plenty of fan service in Mock and Key.
Oh, yeah.
Man, that got on my nerves. It got to the point where it was just so constant and just kind of so in your face, so to speak.
This is the show. I mean, I know you liked it, Zan, but this is a show that actually was worse than High School of the Dead when it comes to fan service by like a billionfold, in my opinion.
Wow.
I mean, everything was just so big and bouncing and in your face, and like I couldn't focus on action, I couldn't focus on story because every shot had some sort of fan service in it. Even dialogue shots, like there's always cleavage somewhere in the shot. It's just always really distracting and hard to watch.
Yeah, I had a similar problem. It wasn't worse than High School of the Dead for me, but it was certainly in the same ballpark. Where it was just distracting. There was just so much of it, and it was interspersed with these action sequences and these other sequences we are clearly trying to pay attention to what's going on. That I just had difficulty focusing. I did really appreciate how it sort of makes fun with the premise and with the characters and so forth. I mean, you can tell where it's going with things, and then it introduces twists to that throughout the series, which I appreciated. But it is very much a ecchi fan service harem series.
There's no denying that. This is a ecchi fan service series from head to toe. It's simple as that. There's no denying it. The only reason why I'd say it's different, however, is that usually ecchi fan service series, the protagonist is, basic. He's a nice guy, and it's just like. And the difference with Lock and Key is he is a pervert. Second episode, he peeped on the girls while they're having they're doing their physicals. And you know what? For the people who actually watch this series, it's good that they actually have a character that actually reflects them.
True.
So that's why I didn't want these nice guys who are like, who are complete idiots, by the way, who are like, oh, you like me? I did not know that. Durr. With all the panty shots they show and all that shit. And there are panty shots for there are tit shots, breast shots, panty shots. Honestly, one of the girls actually beat him up while she was hanging upside down from a tree while wearing a skirt. It's ridiculous. And apparently one of the girls wants to kill him because he has a Sasuke curse mark somewhere on his body. It's weird. I did like in the third episode, however, how he suddenly got his power and punched a guy across a lake into a tree. However, that was a very good visual. It was very nice. The battles can be very good, but the battles are also just more excuses for fan service. It isn't worse as High School of the Dead. The problem I have with High School of the Dead is they try mixing horror with fan service, and that doesn't work. Period. They try combining action with fan service. That's been done for ages now. Tenshin Muyo, Love Hina in some respects. Not so much Love Tenshin Muyo, acceptable. Love Hina is a better example.
Yeah.
Trying to think. Oh God, what's that one series? Infinite Stratos. That's another example of ecchi harem in action. It's more mech based, but still, like they're wearing pretty scandalous clothes, kind of.
Yeah.
It's essentially Freezing. That's a better example of ecchi action. It's essentially that. Like horror in ecchi, no, that doesn't go. Action ecchi, it's a pretty good bread and butter combination there. You can't go wrong with it. And other than the openings and endings, and the fact that the main character there's a main character and his best friend are both perverts, which I really appreciate because they actually deserve getting the crap beat out of them. It's a niche recommendation. I would recommend. It's definitely new. And also, the opening endings are just really, really catchy. I really like them.
Gotcha. Anything else?
Real quick to sort of add on to that. I mean, when I say it was worse than High School of the Dead, it wasn't necessarily the fan service to a point. It was the fact that with High School of the Dead, I was willing to excuse the fan service because there was a plot that I had some interest in. I was totally off-put by the plot. I thought it was not very good. It was just kind of bleh.
Well, it's a basic, like the one fighter to rule them all plot. I mean, you're not going to get any depth with that in a school, in a school setting, no less.
Right. Yeah, I basically, when watching it, I couldn't make any excuses for the fan service to the point where there was just nothing I liked about it.
You can never make excuses for the fan service. It's a fan service show. That's what they do. It's the only one this season.
Yeah, so and I'm not really into fan service, so there was really nothing for me there, so that's why I really didn't like it.
Yeah.
How about I just saw Coppelion?
Not familiar.
Yeah, I just saw a reference to it. I know I didn't stumble across it in my stuff, but none of us saw it, so we will.
Yeah. Sorry.
Interesting.
Yeah. Sorry, I use one site called Anime Season. They usually have all the seasons anime, all of them. And if it's not on there, sometimes I go to different websites if it's really good. But I can't watch every single episode. I want to, but just
Gotcha.
The two that Anime Season missed this season were Guilty Crown and Fate Zero.
Oh,
and Gundam Age.
Crown, I think.
And Gundam Age.
Yeah. No, they don't have Guilty Crown. Yeah, I had to go on a different website to find that. Guilty Crown's hard to find. Also, when the heck are they going to put Gundam Age on YouTube?
I don't know. That's a weird thing. It is actually available on YouTube, but just not in North America.
Not in English.
Yeah. All right. Well then, great. Well then, I think that covers it for this season. We've gone through quite a lot of anime this season. So, as always, I want to thank you all for joining me. Thanks, Brad, for being on us.
Glad to be here.
Awesome. Thanks, Zan.
Thank you all, and excuse me as I'm going to a turkey dinner.
Awesome. All right. Take care. See ya.
See ya.